Hey guys, hope I'm catching you all on a great day and welcome to another qmoniep build video. And today we're going to be reviewing the Aqua King build. So this is a shield build, but it's one that doesn't revolve around consumption, believe it or not. So I was definitely interested in modifying the previous shield build with the shield plus chill, but this one is the shield plus water, but it's definitely different but still OP. Now the playstyle with this build is real interesting. It's fun because you're going to be able to do a lot of different things. You can keep a rotation, but the good part about that is you'll never be out of options. You'll either have the option to throw a shield, to shoot a projectile, to do a takedown, or to do a weapon technique. Now with that, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So first we're going to be looking at the detailed stat sheets. Always, I'm about keeping our resistances up, but since we're not going to be using anything that focus on being at a certain threshold, we just want to get them as high as possible. As you can see, my highest is at 60, but I do have some of them as low as 59. Now the main things we want to focus on in this build is water damage, shield damage, and crit damage in that order. Now the first weapon I'm going to be using is the Eye of the Unknown, but you definitely can exchange this out for the Oceana. I just went with the Eye of the Unknown because I have a higher damage with the water projectile that's going to be shooting, but you definitely can use the Oceana. So the primary here you want is whenever you perform a takedown, you're going to shoot up to 2 projectiles that each deal a certain amount of water damage. And the thing is, we're going to be stacking up water damage, so this will come in handy. Now, the next weapon I'm using is the Sword of Dominance, but feel free to exchange this out for the Seath or any sword or long sword that gives you blessings of luck, because crits are definitely going to help us out with this build. On the secondaries on both weapons, you want to get either water damage, crit damage, weapon charge technique. If you get all three, that'll be perfect. Now I don't see this amulet being used a lot, but we're going to be using the Armorer's amulet. That's because every time we perform a crit hit, we're going to get a shield charge, especially since we're not using the Kaida, since we don't have our resistances maxed out. This is definitely the next best option, and actually it's not the next best. In its own right, it's definitely powerful. Secondaries there, you want crit hit chance, shield charge speed, or weapon tech charge speed. Again, if you get all three, that'll be just perfect. So we're going to be using another underused item. This is the Blood Fox Talisman. So whenever you throw your shield and deal 9,000 or more damage to an enemy, you summon a Water Sentinel. So basically with this and the Oceana, we're going to be shooting projectiles in different ways. It's going to help us out on the battlefield, especially with rank and file enemies. Secondaries here, again, you want shield charge speed, weapon tech charge speed, crit hit, crit chance. Any one of those will work perfect. And I did fail to mention shield damage works perfect as well. Now, when it comes to rings, I'm going to be using the Godsmith. That's for survivability. The primary blinds enemies when you perform a shield throw, but that's not really too helpful in certain situations. Really got it for the secondaries because it is a vitality ring. We get overhealth gain and resistances to all. But if you feel like going in OP mode and you're confident in your playstyle, you go ahead and use the Mark of Glory. So this will give you 42% damage, but enemies deal 20% damage to you. So definitely if you want to do more damage, that's what I would roll with. And not to jump the gun, but I will be using Miss Veil. So that's another reason why I'm using the ring, because I need to have my resistances at 60 or more for it to be active. But really, I'm just using the secondaries on that. You could change that out for something like Dauntless and you won't need the ring. So just want to put that out there first. Now this build uses a lot of unconventional items, but this is one we're going to stick to the script, guys. So Eye of the Dragon, of course, you know what that's for. And for our tool items, we're going to be using the Archon's Tear and the Plague Pendant. By the way, you can use the Entropic Moon Drop, but I just decided to stick with what I had. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our augments. We're going to be looking at the Spirit augments first. By the way, on Spirit augments, we want shield damage, water damage as much as possible. First Spirit is going to be Expanded Mind. Then we're going to be using Adore. And I'm using Miss Veil, but again, you could swap that. And we're going to be using Scourge and Lucid Vision. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our Might augments. The first one we're going to be using is Focus, and you want water damage on that as much as possible. The next one we're going to be using is Force of Nature. You want water damage, but you do want Vitality as a secondary because it's going to be adjacent to Presence of Mind. Speaking of that, I didn't mention it before, but on Lucid Vision and on Scourge, you definitely want Vitality as a secondary because it's going to be adjacent to Presence of Mind as well. Last, we're going to look at our Vitality augments. I'm going to show those individually because they're a little bit in different places. So first, I'm going to show Rift. Rift, of course, is going to give us more damage, but on secondaries, you want water damage, but you definitely want resistances to all for survivability. Now, for presence of mind, you definitely want to get overhealth gain as much as possible. Anything to help you survive, but I definitely recommend overhealth gain and definitely resistances to all at the bottom. Just going to repeat this because if you're new to the channel, you might not have heard this before, but my rule of thumb is always keep overhealth gain on 3 items, whether it be augments, whether it be a ring or what have you. You want to get overhealth gain on 3 items, and that's perfect for survivability. Okay, now we're gonna have to take a look at the skills, guys. So you definitely want weapon tech. I pretty much have that up all the time. On this build in particular, you definitely want to go ahead and get shield attack. You want as much shield damage as possible, and we get shield damage through shield attacks. We also get shield damage through shield throws. So adding those up too won't hurt. You also want crit hit chance built up, and you also want at least 1 in polarity, because we're going to be using polarity attacks. Like I said, it's going to be rotating, so we're going to use polarity attacks, weapon techniques, shield throws, and takedowns, guys, to shoot projectiles. So we definitely want to get all those as much as possible. Speaking of that, you definitely want to go ahead and make sure you got takedowns filled out for spectral takedowns. And before I forget, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ascension level, which this is like here and there, but if you want to take a look, this is the Ascension level I'm at the moment. And let's go ahead and take a look at our resources. Bruh. Yeah, don't worry about that. Just kidding. But yeah, anyway, that is the Aqua King build. So as always, go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Definitely let me know some things you would change. As always, I love to engage with you guys in the comment section. If you have any questions or any suggestions, go ahead and shoot those down there as well. If you did find the information useful, definitely make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. Go ahead and share it with someone you think this might help. And on one quick note, I do want to thank you guys for your support. As I mentioned previously, I haven't been able to drop videos as much as usual due to work and things of that nature, but I do appreciate you guys' support. At the time of this recording, we're at 269. We might be at 270 subscribers by the time it drops, but definitely it means a lot. As always, guys, I appreciate that support. And just want to remind you that you are awesome for making it this far into the video. I do want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.